Okay, so I'm looking like a little bit of a hot mess, but real quick, I wanted to speak on Breonna Taylor. It breaks my heart that she won't get the kind of justice that we as humans wanted, was for some of the one in the police department to be held accountable. I think the $12 million is a nice touch, and nothing can ever right the situation, even if we did get some kind of justice and someone did go to jail. But, um, you know, money's not everything, and it can't bring her back. And maybe they'll start a foundation and they'll do something positive with it. But I want to speak because someone that I love to watch on YouTube. I like to watch opposing views because not only does it inform you on the opinions of the other side, but I'm not one person whose feet are solidly planted any which way on this planet. Why? Except for the Christian way. Because I've seen black people do other black people wrong. I've seen white people do black people wrong. I've seen people of all nationalities do black people wrong. So I'm kind of just iffy. I know our history, which y'all need to learn more history, and maybe I'll start making more videos about history if God wills it. But I wanted to just say that although Breonna Taylor lived a sinful life, she was mixed up with bad people. She was still loved by her family, whether they knew what she was mixed in or not. That was still, I have cousins who I'm like, you living wrong, but I still love you, and it's not, and to omit that part and to just try to demonize them in one isolated moment, right? The moment when they died. And sure, we can expand and say that, her character in other areas, right? The people she affiliated with was terrible, but the ambition that she had, the desire that she had to help other people, the stories, and you watch her, with her dollies as a kid, she had this heart for others. Although we don't know when God's going to call us home, which is why everybody needs to get right like today, like about 5 minutes ago, before you even watch this video, you should have got right. But since you didn't, by the end of this, please get right. She doesn't have a chance to atone for her sins and to make up and to live a different life going forward. Right. So I will say, let that be a testament to that. But to say that, they were shots coming from out of the apartment, so, that she deserved to get shot or whatever. Yeah, well, the other cop, he had a momentary lapse in judgment, which is why he shot out the back. And any of those other points, let's get two things straight real quick. One, her boyfriend Kenneth had the proper paperwork, and he is a legal gun owner in the state of Kentucky, which is why his charges were dropped. The officer who went rogue, which you don't do, like any gun owner would say, I don't own guns, I know people with guns. That's reckless. You don't do that. You don't just blindly shoot into a building or a room, especially an apartment where you have adjacent apartments. So not to make any excuses, right? But the events and the way that night happened, for the police to not to have a no knock warrant, but no knock does not mean no identify. So if they ask who is it, you have to say police. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's it. You don't get to be like, just open the door. Identify yourself. So when they bust down the door, probably because of the people she had once been affiliated with, either fear from their retaliation of her no longer wanting to be affiliated, or something else, right? Could be something nefarious, could be something innocent. We won't ever find out, unless Kenneth decides to speak. But you're not identifying yourself. He's legally carrying. Kentucky also has a stand your ground law. So if I didn't say that, they have that too. Remember the same thing, the same reason why George Zimmerman could shoot Trayvon Martin, or what they're trying to use in Georgia right now with Ahmaud Arbery. Yeah, that same stand your ground law, they have that in Kentucky. So you're coming into this dwelling where not only Breonna and her boyfriend were, but then also I think a 2-year-old is there for multiple days during the week. So all of these people are endangered. You're not considering all of the lives that are potentially in this home, in this dwelling at this time. On the police's behalf, You should have done your job better. So anyone who's out here saying that 12 mil, they should just be happy and shut up and stop wanting so much. No. That 12 million is because that was sloppy police work. Y'all didn't follow everything you should have done, and you know that you should have for something like this. If you're really that fearful of drug dealers, if you really know that, oh well, they got guns, they pack heat, and they can shoot at any moment, then you know who you're dealing with. Then you know you should have had all your T's crossed and I's dotted, right? So that in the event that you screwed up, like y'all did, you would have your back, and you would be good. You didn't do that. You murdered that woman. It's a shame that, that Kentucky won't admit that. You also didn't finish her police report. I mean, her coroner report, right? Because that thing was blank. At least last time I saw it, wasn't it like June or July? That junk was incomplete. So, as someone who believes in our justice system, not wholeheartedly, but I do believe that we have a good foundation if we can fix some other things. If we can, not some things, if we can fix a lot of the system, we have a good framework. But the details need to be ironed out. It needs to be straightened up. That's disappointing. It's disappointing because I do want to live in a country where if we need help, if my life is truly in danger, I want to be able to call the police and not fear and not worry. But especially knowing that the officer who was charged is also someone who abused his power and tried to sexually assault women, and they have text messages and they have other accounts to prove it. It's quite frightening, and for us to just give them a slap on the wrist. No. And just be like, okay, you don't do that no more, okay? We saved your hiney once. We know you got a family, right? Because there's people on both sides. I started this video by saying Breonna Taylor's family knows stuff about her. Well, the police officers, they also have families. As Americans and as Christians, as, just people who share a common DNA, not a common DNA. Well, I guess we all do. I digress. As people who have largely the same internal functions, right? I guess if you're a viable human, then you should at least have most of your main organs. I try not to say like everyone, because I do acknowledge those who are in the hospital who are not a full, body and are in vegetative states and whatnot, right? I'm empathetic towards them. It is crucially important that we have empathy for one another and we love each other. I mean, my friend and I were talking about this today, right? The Bible calls for us to love each other as we love ourselves. If you want yourself protected, want others protected. And that's on both sides, right? The people that she was running with, they need to think more about other people. The police officers who are supposed to be the moral good guys, they need to think about the citizens they protect equally. And sure, some may be more dangerous, but you can't know that by somebody's skin color. There are many criminals out there, especially serial killers. They look so normal. I would have never known. My man killed like 3-4 girls, chopped them up, buried their bodies, lit them on fire. You can't do that. So anyway, all that to say, that's just my perspective. If y'all have any questions, you want to know some things, leave me a comment. I'd love to discuss a little bit more and go into more details, but I hope that was equally thought out and relatively unbiased. But, facts are facts. Opinions are opinions, and this is my channel. So what I speak is what GMEs thinks. Love you. Peace. May God be with you. May God bless you. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Let me know what kind of content you want to see. I'm thinking I'm going to start posting things about my Bible studies. Also more cultural things. I've been African American studies minor, so I'm going to talk more about Black stuff if you're interested. And even if not, I still might. But bye. Be blessed. Have a great evening.